Hello, welcome. My name is Tessa, and today we're going to be doing a yoga sequence for calm. We are set up at the wall today, so go ahead and get set up wherever you're comfortable at a wall, and you will need something to sit on, either a bolster or a folded up towel, blanket, anything that's comfortable for you. Go ahead and grab what you need and let's get started. You can go ahead and set your prop to the side, and let's go ahead and face the wall. You can bring your hands about hip height and go ahead and walk your feet back. Wide-legged position, feet are wider than hip distance apart, forming an L shape with our body. So go ahead and look up, make sure that one hand isn't below the other. Nice wide fingers. And really press into that wall, feeling length in the spine, feeling rooted through the feet, and just a soft bend in the knees. Drawing the shoulder blades in, just allowing those shoulders to soften. So in any forward fold, you want to have some kind of feeling like this, where your spine's nice and long and you're not just collapsing through the shoulders. So kind of take a mental note of what this feels like. It's a lot easier to have this space in the shoulders and the spine when there's not a lot of tension in your legs with a deeper stretch. Let's go ahead and come on out. Moving into a wide-legged forward bend, go ahead and bring your feet nice and wide apart. So in general, when your arms are extended, you want your ankles under your wrists, more or less. And go ahead and just bring your hands onto your legs and feeling rooted through the feet. So really stay rooted through your feet as you start to slide the hands down. We're going to start to feel that stretch in our hamstrings and our calves. You can grab hold of your legs or your ankles and just coming into a nice soft stretch, not trying to move too fast. And just allow your shoulders to relax away from the ears. Breathing into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, and the calves. Staying rooted through our feet and having that same feeling of lengthening in the spine as we just did at the wall. Softening in the belly, the face. And always to come out, strong thighs. Go ahead and press through your feet. Come on out. And let's go ahead and step the feet in. So you want your feet wider than hip distance apart. And let's go ahead and just take a moment. So feet are wider than hip distance. And let's just take a minute rooting down through the feet. Nice strong thighs. Relax those shoulders, nice long spine. And keep those shoulders nice and soft as we slide the hands down, coming into somewhat of a deeper stretch with the legs closer together. Go ahead and grab hold of your legs or your ankles. And you can just pull a little bit more, coming into a nice decent stretch for the hamstrings. You can bend your knees just softly, slightly. Just relax your head. And those shoulders relax away from the ears. And the breath start to get a little deeper. We hold. And strong thighs to come on up. And let's go ahead and bring the feet all the way together, coming into a nice deep stretch. And let's just check in. So rooting down through our feet, strong thighs. Go ahead and just see if your head is in front of your hips. Just bring your head back. So Tadasana. And Strong thighs, but soft knees. And just hinging at the hips. Let's go ahead and move into nice deep stretch, sliding those hands down, grabbing holds of the ankles or the calves. Soft bend in the knees if you need to. Just relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Letting the head hang. Go ahead and shake your head no, and shake your head yes. And just really letting that head hang. Soft face, soft abdomen. And deep breaths here. And holding for a good 10 seconds longer. Staying rooted through the feet. One more good breath. Coming out, press through the feet. And moving on, let's go ahead and get set up at the wall. Grab hold of your support. So we're going to be sitting on something so that we're a little bit elevated, a little easier on the hips. All right, so getting set up at the wall. So make sure that you're at least touching the wall. And coming into Dandasana, this is a great position to just clean the slate. So go ahead and press through your inner legs. Go ahead and press through the balls of your feet, spreading your toes if you can. And you can just press your palms, nice long spine here. Go ahead and bring your chin down, gazing towards your heart. So long spine, soft shoulders, thighs are engaged. Just relax your face. Just tuning into that breath. And go ahead and grab your inner knees. You can bring the soles of your feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana. So go ahead and just rock a little bit from side to side and root down through your sit bones as you lengthen through your spine. Hinging at the hips, go ahead and just start to breathe into those groins, into those inner thighs. And go ahead and just walk your hands out as much as you can without losing that stability in your sit bones. So really feeling anchored where we're seated. And breathing into those hips. It's really common to feel more tightness in one side. I definitely feel a lot more tightness in my left. And it's also common for one knee to be higher and the hip that's tighter. You can stack your forearms if you'd like. We're going to spend another 20 seconds or so here. Just allowing that breath to deepen. Notice if you're holding your breath at all. Just relax into those inhales and exhales. Another few breaths here. And come on out, always moving slowly as we move in and out of these hip stretches. Go ahead and bring your legs out to the side, and I'd like you to just be pretty close to the wall here. So same thing, you want to make sure those inner legs are nice and long. Go ahead and press through the balls of your feet and spread your toes if you can. And long spine here. So as you kind of lift your chest and lengthen through the spine, you're going to feel a little bit of tightness in your hip flexors. See if you can just relax that tension in the hips, but keep the strength in the thighs. Kind of maintain that as you go ahead and walk the hands forward, and your inner legs are going to want to shorten. Your feet are going to want to collapse, but just keep pressing through the balls of your feet, keeping that stretch. Your inner legs and hips. You can come onto your forearms if you want. And just breathe. And go ahead and relax those shoulders. And keeping that awareness of hinging at the hips, not just collapsing through the chest. And coming out of that position, let's go ahead and bring the knees in and coming into child's pose. Go ahead and get rid of your bolster, your support. Go ahead and come to the middle of your mat and big toes together, knees wider than hip distance apart. Just let your hips start to sink in towards your heels and just let your head rest on the ground. And bringing your head onto the floor, just letting your hips sink down towards your heels. Notice if you're holding your head up at all and see if you can just surrender all of that weight to the floor. Letting your hips soften. Go ahead and walk your hands forward, feeling that length in the spine. You press through the palms. Taking a few deep breaths here. And bring the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. You can bring the knees about hip distance apart, tuck those toes under, and just pressing those thighs back. Go ahead and walk your feet in or out. Just find a position that feels nice and comfy. Spine is long, thighs are strong. Letting those heels fall towards the floor. Feeling that stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. And relax your head. And child's pose. Go ahead and bring those knees down, big toes together, knees wider than hip distance. And just see if those hips fall a little bit more towards your heels. And open a little bit more. Go ahead and wrap your arms around your legs. If you ever feel, this might sound really corny, but if you ever feel like you need a hug, this is like about as close as you can come to giving yourself a hug. And just enjoying your own embrace. And let's go ahead and come on up and get set up for our inversion at the wall. So go ahead and grab your bolster or your blanket, whatever you're using. So you want to set yourself up so that whatever support you're using, you have about at least a couple of inches away from the wall. So you want your butt to be able to fit in that little space. And we're going to cartwheel ourselves up. So go ahead and bring your left hip right by the wall. And we're going to just cartwheel our legs up. Wait 1 second. I'm just going to see the time. 16. Okay. So go ahead and just bring those legs all the way up. Feet are about hip distance apart, just lots of space. And just let your palms face up. Knees are slightly bent. So just keeping enough tension in your thighs to keep your legs up the wall, but feeling a lot of softness in your legs. And just notice if you're holding your shoulders up or your head, and just relax. Just give all of your weight to the floor. And just allowing all of that fresh blood to move towards our heart and our brain. This is really good for the nervous system. It's just a great reset if you're feeling a little out of sorts or stressed. A great position to get yourself in. And just being mindful of breath. Nice full inhales and exhales. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. And just so that any part of your foot's touching, but not trying to press your feet together. Allowing those hips to open. Notice if there's any gripping in your tummy, just relax. Breathing into the hips, into that abdomen. Relax your shoulders and your head. Go ahead and straighten your legs. You can actually just slide your legs apart, enjoying a nice last stretch for those inner thighs. Just breathing into those groins and those hips. Again, just keeping enough tension in your legs to keep the legs up. Nothing too exaggerated. This is a great position if you struggle with tight hips because kind of letting gravity do the work for you. In a really safe position. Be really careful coming out though. I encourage you just kind of one leg at a time, nice and slow. You can even use your hands if you need a little more support. And just wrapping up our time. Legs straight up the wall. Nice soft face. Go ahead and bend those knees, and we're gonna just reverse the process of how we got into this. You can just go ahead and let your legs fall down, and whenever you're ready, you can come into a seated position. And that is all for our practice today. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, you should check out our Patreon page where you'll find some really great content as well. I look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by PsycheTruth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by PsycheTruth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.